late 2019, everybody's at this point agreed that, hey, we're going to get together. We're going to be a band. We're not going to be in other bands, and we're going to try to do something.
Yes.
Now, the name Joint Custody, explain to the people who are listening, where the name comes from. Obviously, people think about family law and divorce, and I've got joint custody of the kids. There's that comparison every time.
Yeah, there's a lot of meanings probably behind it, but in the moment, we were all just there, and it was just kind of one of those things. Is like, let's take what I have, and let's take what you guys have, and let's join this thing up, and let's call it joint custody.
This is Unfiltered. I'm J. Chad Parker. Today's guest is someone who is following his passion, which is the love of music. We've got a lot of questions for him. He has an interesting life. We're going to find out what he's done in the past, what he's doing now, and what his plans are for the future. Tyler Dudley, thank you for being here.
Hey, man, thanks for having me.
Tyler is currently with the band Joint Custody. Am I right?
That's correct.
Let's, before we get to the joint custody phase of your career and move forward, let's talk about kind of where you came from and how you got interested in music from the beginning.
Man, music for me started really in church. Yeah, I was involved in church at a very young age and started picking up a guitar, and just kind of YouTube taught me the ropes, and then just kind of learned simple chords and church. Yeah, pretty much.
Well, that's interesting because when I grew up, in church, of course, there were no instruments way back when. It was a piano, a choir. And not only did you have, an evolving music scene at the church, but you also had the internet, right? You mentioned YouTube.
Right.
I mean, did you have formal music training, or is everything that you've ever learned been by yourself with either some type of video or something else like that?
Yeah, I mean, really, when I was younger, I would just look up a song that I kind of wanted to learn that I knew was simple, and I just kind of would learn simple things there, but it was strictly all the internet. Yeah, it really was.
I've always wanted to play an instrument, and, a lot of people I'm sure feel like I do. They just never got involved in music because I don't even know what the notes or the chords are to even look in a book to even try to mimic that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, you want to get technical, when it comes to like reading music and stuff. I can't do that either. Like I can look at a chord chart and tell what a chord is, but I can't look at per se reading music. No, that's a whole nother level of the game that I don't even know.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's interesting because, not every musician or band that's able to make good music is a classically trained musician, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And there's different parts each of you or each person might play in a band as far as, rhythm, lead, bass, that type of thing.
Right.
And you are, at least in Joint Custody today, what roles do you play in the band?
My role in performing would be I'm one of the singers and the rhythm guitar guys. But I also do a lot of the booking and advancing shows and stuff like that.
All right. In church though, and just to go back for a minute, I mean, are we talking about like a acoustic guitar? Are we talking about electric guitar? I mean, what are you playing in church?
I grew up on an acoustic guitar, and that's pretty much how I learned. I've only played acoustic my whole life up until really this band. I started playing an electric guitar, but it's all the same, really. I mean,
because the shows that you played as Tyler Dudley or the Tyler Dudley Band, a lot of times you were playing an acoustic guitar in the past that I had seen you.
Yeah, most definitely. And I mean, what I was doing before we were with this band was more of the country feel, so the acoustic thing was just kind of felt more right for what we were doing. But with what we're doing now, it's different.
Let's try to build a timeline from, say, when you graduated from high school up to the present time throughout this interview, all right?
Mm-hmm.
When did you graduate from high school?
2013.
All right. So in 2013, are you playing music at all? Are you working, or what are you doing around that time frame?
When I graduated high school, I was actually working up at Cavender's. I would take little oddball gigs, playing acoustic stuff at, restaurants or wherever around town that I could get. But I didn't really, per se, take it really seriously until I quit Cavender's. I knew eventually that I just wasn't happy working the 9-to-5 thing and working all the hours. And I wanted to do something that made me happy. And I knew music was that for me. So Eventually I just went head in for it, and I've been here ever since.
Well, when you quit working at Cavender's, did you have a plan, or did you have something to go and do in music, or was it just that you said, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but I just don't want to do this anymore?
That's really where my head was at, was that I know I don't really want to do this anymore, and I like the music, so I'm going to give it a go. But I also had, a job in place that would allow me to do it, which is what I'm doing now with the clean and pulls. And I've been doing that since I was about that time that I took music seriously, around 21, 22.
Yeah, because I mean, now the music industry, a lot of bands, especially starting off or whatever, you have to have a second job to support yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that's tough to find. I mean, finding something to allow you to do that and to have your weekends off to play your gigs, that's hard enough in itself to find.
Well, you decide you don't like working a 9 to 5, but I mean, have you written any songs? Have you moved in the direction of music, that somehow could pay you or make a living at that point?
So it's one of them things, like when I'm playing with this band, we're at that point to where the money thing isn't per se what keeps us afloat and what pays the bills. Now, when I get little acoustic oddball gigs and stuff like that around town, that's where I can make some money. And when we're off with the band, and I'll still do that around town just to, but that's where you can make some money, and that can help. But as far as playing with the band now.
All right. And so when you quit working at Cavender's, what year are we talking about?
I quit Cavender's probably 2015.
And then I think as I look at some of the interview material in preparation for this, I see you at Stonewater sessions, some video, some studio, and it looks like it's about 2016. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. It was a long time ago.
All right. And it looked like it was earlier in the year in 2016 because they were talking about the Red Dirt Music Festival coming in May.
Yeah.
And what was this Stonewater Sessions live? Because I think you played.
What's funny about that was actually I had written a song that one of the guys that had ran Stonewater had liked, and he wanted me to come in there and do it. I never recorded the song that I played there. That video of that song was never something that I cut, because that was right around when I made the transition later on, and we never put out any more music. So. But he wanted me to come in, and we were promoting a show that we were playing at Cowboys that same week too. So it was just all kind of.
And I think the next slide is there's an interview that you give, and
look at that young buck.
And it was this is 2016, right? This is 7 years ago.
Yeah,
a little over 7 years ago.
Yeah, sounds right.
And the interview, just asking you about music, you're telling them a lot of the same things that you've told me, and because your career really hasn't gone anywhere, has it?
No.
Not at this point.
No, not at
2016, when you're talking to the people there at Stonewater Sessions and you play that song and you give this interview, do you have a band together, or are you still just Tyler Dudley with an acoustic guitar?
No, yeah, we had a band here together. I mean, it was I would say I had a band. It was more of a bunch of hired guns that I found through the time. My brother would play with me, and I'm not sure if Corey, our drummer now, was playing with me then or not. He may have been still coaching at that point. But anyways, I would hire people out for shows. If I had a band show, I would find some guys that I knew that would do it. Never really had a consistent band when I was doing that.
All right, let's say that you get a show and you're going to take a band with you, and
Right.
you have to start looking for band members,
Yeah.
a bass, drums, and a lead guitar.
Yeah.
How do you guys get together so quickly and play whatever songs and everybody know how to play them?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there would be some preparation involved for sure, especially if it's with cats I've never played with before. We would get together, but honestly, at that point in time, I was doing a lot more of acoustic stuff. I wasn't doing a lot of band gigs when I was the Tyler Dudley band per se. A lot of it was more of myself.
Just you?
Just me, and yeah.
Acoustic?
I really didn't do that long. I mean, I put out one EP and then I moved on.
And these gigs back then were normally restaurants, bars, smaller settings.
Yeah. Oh yeah, most definitely. We played a couple shows for some bigger guys every once in a while, but For the most part, no, it wasn't anything crazy.
Would you say the biggest moment in your musical career as some kind of band, or even just Tyler Dudley, was the first time you played at Coaches and Cowboys?
No, I wouldn't say that. I don't know a particular time that I would feel. I still don't feel that way. If that makes, I just feel I'm a very, I don't know how to put it.
Was exciting though to play in a bigger venue with a
For sure,
hometown crowd.
For sure, that feel is good, and having folks coming out and supporting you, it feels good. But I don't know if there's per se a moment like that that's made me feel that way.
Well, back then, was that in that 2016 time period when you got out to Coaches and Cowboy, or was that a year later? When was that?
That was, I mean, it was that same week that was filmed. So
okay, so
that may not have been my first show ever at Cowboys, but we played there several times.
But you would be an opening act, I'm assuming?
No, we'd be a headliner for that.
Okay, you've headlined out there, and people would go watch you that you went to school with. And
that's right. I opened a bunch of shows there, which is how I got the connects to go there, and then eventually they were like, let's put you in here, and yeah.
All right. And are the band members that eventually form joint custody, or any of these band members in this band that's playing at Coaches and Cowboy back in 2016?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my brother has been with me since day one. And then, Corey, like I said, I can't remember exactly when he stopped coaching, but when he stopped coaching, he was full-time with me. Yeah, always.
And so then, I guess you were looking for a lead guitar player, or you weren't, and then you were trying to learn the business. All this is going on at the same time?
Yeah, I wouldn't say we were really ever looking for somebody. We always were lucky enough to have somebody play with us. Electric guy that, we'd always had someone to play with us, but we just felt we got to a point to where we felt like we weren't really going anywhere. And it all just kind of happened when we met Shawn, how this all came together. It just kind of happened at the right time, looking back, really.
Well, before you got to that point, I've heard you talk about, I think it's, is it JB Patterson?
Yeah.
That's helped you learn things about the music business that have sped up y'all's ability to form a band, make a record, things like that.
I would definitely say that he would be what you consider like a mentor for me. Yeah, definitely. I met him probably around this same time, 2016 or something, playing a little restaurant here in Tyler at the Catch. He walked in, and we've been friends ever since, and he's done nothing but help me.
Well, that's good. And I could hear in your voice that you had a lot of admiration and appreciation for him.
I really did. I mean, looking back, man, when I really first started listening to music, and like JB and the Moonshine Band, that was my stuff. That was the stuff I listened to. It was the stuff that I wanted to be. And then you grow in this music stuff and you realize that's not really where I want to be, but I appreciate everything that they've done. Their music is what I grew up on.
What was their style of music?
They were the red dirt scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you had a couple of songs that I found in the research looking back, and one of them was Heart the Size of Texas, and the other was Wasting My Time.
Yeah, so the Wasting My Time is the one I did in this interview that I never recorded. I just did the video for this one.
Okay.
The Heart the Size of Texas was probably the most popular one that I had cut when it was the Tyler Dudley Band. And
did the song, was it put out anywhere, or when you say you cut it, is that just one that you had that was an original?
No, it was out everywhere. Well, yeah, I mean, it was anywhere that you can get music. It was there, and it may even still be there. To be honest, I don't know. But I don't think I ever took it out.
You wrote these songs. Tyler Dudley did.
The Heart the Size of Texas was one that I had a part in. I think I mainly just came up with a couple things, but I had some help with all those songs. If I didn't write them, I had some people that were helping me. But yeah, it wasn't just a friend of mine's songs that I didn't cut. I had a hand in all of them.
Okay.
Yes.
It seemed like a lot of the songs, even back then and now, have to do with relationships. Does that...
At that time, are you saying now too?
Yeah, now too. I mean, there's some of them,
maybe up to this point, but when we drop this new stuff, like I was telling you earlier, you won't think that anymore.
Okay. All right. Well, since I don't have the benefit of hearing the new album, because it's not out till... Right. It's coming out, September 29th?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
All right. And it'll be available when it comes out.
Anywhere you can get music.
All right. Spotify, Apple.
Amazon, iTunes, LimeWire.
All right.
Whatever.
So, all the songs that I've heard, a lot of them had a relationship angle.
Yeah.
Even Shawn's Pillow Talk, right? sober,
Yeah.
kick rocks. Everything goes back
Yeah.
to, seems like a man-woman
Yeah.
relationship,
We
right?
were a little younger when that stuff came out. So, yes, I mean, now that you say that, yeah, for sure. But I promise you, like I said, this new stuff, I think we did everything in our power to kind of steer away from that kind of
Right,
stuff.
because even you
It
know,
just feels like that's what everybody does.
one of my favorites after listening to it all, Circles, seems
Yeah.
to be about a relationship
It
going in
is.
circles.
It is.
All
Yeah.
right. You know, obviously you love music or you wouldn't have done what you did and be where you are right now.
100%.
All right.
Yeah.
You know, tell us why do you love music?
I think that it's always just been something for me. It's an escape. I mean, the writing side, there's so many aspects to it, you know, whether it's just me picking up a guitar to kind of space away from things, or whether I've got something on my mind and I want to write a song. I mean, music in general has just always kind of been an escape for me.
And, you know, I really understand that. I remember growing up, listening to, you know, bands like Bon Jovi and, you know, kind of the 80s metal, if you will, that wasn't near as hard, but I always thought it was just an escape. That's why I always loved music. I love to work out to music now. It just, you know, I don't know if it just kind of soothes life.
It does.
A little bit.
There's you got your different types. You want to get hyped up.
Right. You want to get hyped up.
You want to get sad. You know,
you want to
that's
listen
the
to
beauty
something
of it.
just smooth R&B or whatever, right? It's just whatever. It just adds, I think, to living and the outside noise.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Of people and the environment that sometimes you just want to block out.
Yeah. Yep. I couldn't agree more. Really.
Now, you love music, but what about playing music? Do you love playing music or do you just love writing and putting together and creating music?
I love it all. I think that playing, especially with the group that we have, like it's definitely my favorite part, you know, when you're going and you're playing in front of these crowds and, you know, every once in a while they're singing your song back to you, and that's the cool stuff for sure.
Well, it's got to feel like a team in a way. Like, you know, some teams, the guys all get along. Some teams, they don't. There's obviously band dynamics. If the personalities don't fit, who gets the credit? Who gets the songwriting credit?
Yeah.
Who gets to sing this song? I mean, I think about the Eagles, which I know was one of yours, the people that y'all referenced as influence. You know, the band just kind of allowed Don Henley to take more and more of the singing role from Glenn Frey, and he was good with it, right?
Right.
Now, Don Fagan, he wasn't. I mean, you know, I've watched all the documentaries. I love music too.
Yeah.
But how's the band Joint Custody? How's I mean, your brother's in it, you're in it.
I think that pretty much sums it up. My brother is in it, and one of my best friends that I've grown up with my whole life, Corey, and then Shawn, I mean, just fits right in with all of us. I would think that, you know, we all are a huge just team, and there's a lot of togetherness in it. I don't think it's like, you know, there's no ego things. It doesn't feel that way at all.
Well, and I mean, with the stresses involved that you guys have trying to make it, I'm sure that has to be the case from the start. Otherwise, it's doomed to fail.
Exactly. You're right. Because especially when you get out on the road, man, you learn a lot about each other. And, you know, sometimes two people sleep in the same bed, you know, like you got to love each other.
And we'll talk about this, you know, van breakdown, not get paid a lot of money, staying up late, trying to get back home. I mean, there's a lot of things.
It's not as fun as it sounds.
Right. I mean, it's, you know, watching the show as a fan is really the work of many, many hours, even just to get to the venue, I suspect.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it is. Yeah. Like we were saying earlier, there's a lot more that goes into it than what we just post on the socials and what everyone's just seeing.
Well, and this takes us to the point of, you know, kind of the formation of Joint Custody, which is what I want to talk about. And that slide, I want put it up there. No, leave it there. Joint Custody is when Shawn, right, the guy who's not from Tyler or Whitehouse, gets with the group.
That's correct.
And I have Reddies from Georgia, so I'm curious, how is Shawn in and around Tyler and in the band today?
Well, luckily for us, he settled down and married a girl in Gilmer. So he's not too far from us, but I met him At a crawfish bowl with just mutual friends. I heard him actually playing on stage. We were both playing this event, and I met him and was like, hey, this kid's pretty good. And we linked up, started writing songs together for a while. And then one thing led to another. He was in his own band. We were in our own band. And we just kind of had a moment one night where we were both like, what if we did this together? And it just felt right. And even then, Shawn wasn't the guitar player that he is now. He was not a lead guitar player. He was better than me, but he was no lead guitar player. And he'd tell you that too. But I mean, this band, it made him become that way. And he's taken on that role, and he's shined, man. He really has.
I mean, he sounds good, and obviously some of the songs showcase his talent more than others as far as a lead guitar solo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Musicians, you'll hear them interview in the past, with the things and the people I grew up with, and you'd hear them say things like, well, once we got on the road, we got really tight, which I took to mean that the more you played, the better you got.
Yeah.
Is that how it is with music?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I would say that, the more we played, the tighter our sets get, and, we change stuff all the time. But yeah, I mean, for sure, the more we play together, we don't really even practice that much anymore. I mean, we're playing so many shows, though, the set doesn't change much, and we've been playing together so long that we know the cues and.
Well, it just seems like, obviously the dexterity of your fingers as a lead guitar player is kind of a big part of the sound that gets created.
Right.
If you're able to move. And,
yeah.
And I wonder, you say Shawn's gotten a lot better. I guess he's played a lot more.
He has just, I think he's just really put the time in, and he's just grinded. And, one of the when we very first started Joint Custody, we had another guy, which was actually the guitar player for JB and the Moonshine Band, was Romus. Because, like I said, Shawn wasn't a lead guitar player, but we wanted to form this band. So we got him involved, and he started playing some shows with us or whatever. And then he eventually told us and sat us down after we played some shows and was like, y'all don't need me. Shawn can do this. And ever since then, really, I mean, we threw him out there on a sold-out show. His first show he had ever done. He played a sold-out show as a lead guitar player. Never done it before. And
Shawn.
Uh-huh. And I mean, we got it done.
Well, okay, so that gets us to sometime, I believe, in 2019. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is that when
that's right around when we started this band? It was late 2019.
Yeah. All right, late 2019. Everybody's at this point agreed that. Hey, we're going to get together. We're going to be a band. We're not going to be in other bands, and we're going to try to do something.
Yes.
Now, the name Joint Custody, explain to the people who are listening, where the name comes from. Obviously, people think about family law and divorce, and, I've got joint custody of the kids. There's that comparison every time.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of meanings probably behind it, but in the moment, we were all just there, and it was just kind of one of those things. He's like, let's take what I have, and let's take what you guys have, and let's join this thing up, and let's call it Joint Custody. And we're just like, yeah, let's do it.
I mean, so everybody liked the name?
Yeah, I mean, there was never, should we call it something else? We've just ran with it. And
nobody ever said, hey, let's call it, some other name.
Nobody ever had anything else. Everybody was pretty on board with it.
Now, you guys, I don't know if you've gotten to this point because I don't understand the business, but I mean, if there are song sales, I understand one of the best things to have is a songwriting credit. Am I right about the music business?
When you get to a certain level and you're really getting some momentum and some streams, I would imagine that, the songwriting, the songwriters behind the songs are the ones that are making the good money. Yes, sir.
In the, because, like one of my favorites, of course, Motley Crue. Nikki Sixx couldn't play a lick of bass, but he wrote most of the songs, right? I mean, so, but I guess that really doesn't matter right now. But as far as how the band operates internally in writing songs, how do y'all do it? Do each of you bring something to the table, or do y'all sit down together? How do y'all go about songwriting?
A lot of different ways. I mean, some songs are, I got titles, or Shawn's got a riff, or Austin's got a riff and some lyrics. I mean, it's always every song has got its own story, basically.
You just build from what you have?
Correct. Of it? Yeah. Most of them, I would say, probably start with riffs that we have, and then we just start kind of writing. And
so, I asked Seco P, the rapper, that, like, hey, do you write the music first?
Right.
Or in his case, he gets the beats from somewhere else.
Yeah,
But
and then
do you
writes
write the
over it.
music, or do you write the lyrics and then work from that? But you say usually you guys kind of start with the music.
Yeah. I mean, there's songs though that I've even sat and I've written like an entire chorus to it and had it hummed in my head and without a guitar in my hand, and then you get back to it and you're like, okay. But nothing's ever set in stone. Things change all the time. And
Well, let's look at the band members, and we're going to start with you. And I'm going to bring up some slides, and we're gonna. There's your look. Now
lost that hair.
Now a couple things about that. There's AC/DC on the t-shirt.
Yeah.
Is that an influence or just a shirt?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I don't know if you per se an influence, but I love all of their music. So yeah, I mean, I jam them all the time.
Now, when I see Joint Custody, Up in Smoke, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 album covers, I see that same lightning bolt. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Was that inspired by that, or is that just completely coincidental?
Truly, it's a coincidence. Like I said, we had a guy just say, "Hey, here's what we're looking for. This is our name. Build us a logo," and the lightning bolt was thrown to us. But
all right, and because those would be the first two. That is, Up in Smoke, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 would be the first two things that Joint Custody, the newly formed band, put out.
That's correct.
All right. And we know the differences if we look for them on the internet by JC with a lightning bolt black is Chapter 1 and JC white album cover is Chapter 2.
Yep.
All right. And we'll talk about, that after we get through with the band here. But here you are. Now here we got Shawn. This is Shawn, right?
That's him.
Now, Shawn looks a little thinner to me more recently on some of the...
It's the beard.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. No, he's thinned up a little bit. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, sometimes, Shawn looked a little, like I said, smaller on some of these things. Like when I watched the Riverside Live show in November in Ohio.
Yeah.
It looked like that was a pretty good venue. The crowd was into it.
Yeah, that was a good venue. Yeah,
but
that was a fun night.
All right, so we've talked about Shawn. Now, Shawn also sings some of the songs, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
How about the new album? Do we expect to hear, you more, Shawn more, Austin more? Who sings the songs on this next LP?
Oh, it's definitely a good dose of everybody.
All right.
Yeah, you get a little bit of everybody in this one.
All right, let's see. Who do we have next? Is this your brother?
That's him.
All right, there's old Austin.
He hasn't changed much. He looks just like that.
He does look just like that. He's got the Nirvana t-shirt.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely one of his influences for sure.
Because he's
his vibe.
2 years younger than you.
Yeah.
Because he mentioned and when asked, I think you guys were on a program. It was local around here.
Yeah, I think it was called Universal Language.
Universal Language, right? Y'all, that was the beginning of 2020 or something like that.
Yeah, it was right when COVID was hitting. Yeah.
Right before it started.
Did a little online concert.
Austin said one of his influences was Led Zeppelin. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
You've told me privately that this new album, which is self-titled Joint Custody.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah.
That it's got maybe a harder guitar riff edge to it that's coming.
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely a lot more riffy rock and more classic rock than what we've put out in the past, for sure.
Well, what music genre would you say is influencing this new album that's going to come out in September or the 29th of this month?
I just say rock. We're all about just rock and roll, and I feel like that's what we are, is rock.
Because some people try to pigeonhole.
There's a lot of different
Southern rock.
Yeah. I would say Southern.
Yeah.
We're not alternative or punk. I mean,
right.
I would say Southern.
Yeah, I mean, there was obviously Leonard Skinner.
Mm-hmm.
After that, there was 38 Special.
Yeah.
Right? Molly Hatchet. Some of these old ones, right? I mean, those are all like long hair rock.
Yeah.
And you guys, would you say if there were categories of bands that y'all would fit in that just in the 2003 time period?
Yeah. That's kind of what I would say. I mean, it would be those kind of guys, like I said earlier, like even some newer guys like the Whiskey Myers and the Blackberry Smoke. That's the kind of vibe that we're going for.
Because Whiskey Myers, they have long hair.
Mm-hmm.
They are from Palestine, Texas, from what I understand.
Some East Texas boys like us.
And they, they're rock too.
Yeah, right.
So, and they've done pretty well.
Yeah, they've done really well. They've done really well.
I mean, I don't know what size of venues they play, but
the biggest ones they got now.
And I know they're coming to Tyler for the Rose
Mm-hmm.
City Music Festival. I think it's October the 14th.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And they're headlining that here.
Yeah. You know who's opening?
Ludacris.
Ludacris.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. But they did it last year. They had Nelly.
Yeah, it was Nelly Burko. That's right.
And then they had Wade Bowen. Was that who it was last year?
I don't know about the year before.
Yeah, I thought it was Wade Bowen.
I'm not sure.
But either way, Tyler, has the Red Dirt Festival, as you
Right.
I mean, they're trying to develop the music scene a little bit more around here. What would you say would be the best venue to play in Tyler, first of all? If you could choose anyone for your band and headline, where would it be?
Unfortunately, there's just not a lot. I mean, you either have the Cowboys, which they've changed the name to something else now,
right,
and you have really Stanley's Barbecue. So I would say Stanley's 100%. That feels like that place is for our music. They're the blues, the rock stuff. People go there to listen to that kind of stuff. That we played there one time, and it was a great show. That feels like home to us.
And you played that show this year in 2023, didn't you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I saw it being advertised like May 23rd or something.
I think it was Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah. And Stanley's has kind of developed a reputation for being a spot where, good artists could come and play and people would come out and support them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%.
How was the crowd when you played?
Man, it was honestly one of the best nights that I can remember for a band. Just the support that we had, the hometown support. I mean, it was more than I could have even imagined that night, really.
That feeling that you had at Stanley's 2023, compare that to the first time that you were out at Coaches and Cowboy back in 2016.
Yeah, I guess when you put it that way, we've come a long way for sure. Yeah.
But I mean, were those similar or different?
Very different. Yeah, I mean, it was very different. I mean, between Stanley's and Cowboys, they're two completely different vibes. At Stanley's, everyone's right there on you. They can stand from me to you watching us play. And then Cowboys, you got this tall stage, and it's just different. But yeah, I mean, Stanley's to me, it's a no-brainer. It's the best place around here to play music.
What about, in close proximity to Tyler or East Texas, what are some of the venues that you first, is there a venue that you have not been invited to or gotten to play that you'd like to play?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some big ones out there that I would love to play. I would say they're more of goals than anything that would happen like right now, realistically. But like, Red Rocks is a dream. Whitewater Amphitheater would be a really cool one.
Where is that?
That one is in New Braunfels.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
We've played a lot of the good ones, that I've wanted to play. We've played most of them, but when you get to like the bigger ones for like that are holding 10,000 cap and stuff like that, we're just not quite there yet. And those are the ones that I hope to eventually be able to play one day.
What about in the vicinity? What are some of the places that you like to go and play that the crowds are big or pretty big and they come out and support you guys?
Man, I mean, we really do. We do well, pretty good in East Texas. I mean, anywhere around East Texas, we can do pretty decent.
Terrell?
Yeah, Terrell's a hit or miss just because the spot there's a little...
Silver Saloon?
Silver Saloon, yeah, it's so big.
On the interstate?
On the interstate. How many people actually live in Terrell?
It's really a drive for people.
Yeah, it is. It is. But, I mean, we've been lucky enough to play quite a few venues. I mean, most of the big venues we have played. But a lot of the shows that we're playing are what we call support or opening shows for people. And so if we're playing with a band that's pretty solid and has a good following, the crowd's probably going to be good no matter where we go, which is how it's been recently. We've just been following cats and they're bringing the crowds and we're just kind of getting our name out there and, supporting them.
Well, let's go to the last band member, Corey Davis.
Yeah.
Corey went to Whitehouse High School.
That's correct.
You went to Whitehouse High School.
Yeah, me, him, and my brother, we all did.
Okay. And so Corey, you mentioned Corey in coaching earlier.
Yeah, so he went to school, played baseball, and then when he got done with baseball, he actually came back to Whitehouse and coached for maybe 2 years. I want to say 1.5 years, 2 years. Was coaching high school baseball, assistant coach, and then same thing with us, man. He just kind of got to the point where he knew he wanted to do the music, and he couldn't do both. So it's either do I play music or do I coach? And he loved the coaching thing. So for him to step away from that and do this shows how passionate he is with this as well.
Well, it kind of highlights the fact that you have to have you've got to be able to play on the weekends. You got to be able to travel in order to be in the band.
100%.
And if your job interferes with that, then
you just can't do it.
You can't have that job or you can't be in the band.
That's right.
And so obviously coaches play on Saturday.
That's right.
Baseball, and they've got other duties at the school. That's what forces the choice.
I mean, at that point when he was coaching, when I was doing the Tyler Dudley thing, I was hiring drummers because he was just too busy.
All right, let's take a look at the next photo. I think that's a good photo of the band. That's kind of the finished product that gets started in late 2019.
That's probably when that picture was taken.
Known as Joint Custody, right?
That's right, yeah.
When is it that you guys start to venture out on the road as a band, really beyond some of the local stuff here?
We eventually made connections with a couple different guys, I would say, like some I'd mentioned to you earlier, Pecos and the Rooftops, Colby Cooper, Chris Colston. And once we really met those guys, they were the ones they would go on these shows, and then we would just holler at them, and any dates that they would give us, we would just go.
Well, you mentioned earlier Universal Language Live, that it was I don't know if it was a TV show or if it was a podcast type thing. What was it?
It was more of just the idea was when COVID was going on, we couldn't play any shows. We were just trying to show them that we were just about to put this stuff out, the Up in Smoke stuff out. And it was like, we didn't know when we were going to play shows. So we were like, let's get in there and let's do this and show people what we've got and show them what we got coming and just talk to them. But a buddy of mine ran it around here. It was pretty cool though.
And who was that ran it?
His name's Philip Cardone.
And it looked like, I don't know where they were, but there was a studio. It looked like, y'all had all your equipment set up.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of just a little setup like this, really. I mean, he had the whole nine in there.
And you did the full set.
Yeah.
Did you not?
Yeah, we did an entire set, and then in between they cut in an interview that we had done before or after. I don't remember, but
right. But I mean, I kept track of the songs that y'all played on that show, and I heard every one of them. But I don't. Did y'all play Dreams on that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we only had a certain amount of songs, and we were trying to give them our stuff.
Right. I think you said it at some point on the show. That like, look, we got this album coming out, and it was going to be like 9 originals and 1 cover or something.
Yeah, that's right.
And the 1 cover was Fleetwood Mac's Dreams, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
For those who haven't heard it, I think it's a great cover of that song.
I appreciate it.
And I think it's made possible because of Austin's extremely high-pitched voice.
Yeah, it's definitely, we don't play it anymore, but when we were playing it, it was definitely a fan favorite. And if no one was listening to us the whole show, when we started playing that one, they were. Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, because it was kind of a slowed down version a little bit.
Yeah, we definitely made it our own.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. And I thought it was good. I played it the other morning just to hear it. And I mean, you can hear the quality is good, and Shawn is good as a player on that song.
Right.
Because, I mean, he's playing essentially Lindsey Buckingham's part from Fleetwood Mac.
With his own little twist on it.
Yeah. Right. But then you guys go through and you play everything. Now, Circles, that's a song, it's one of my favorites that you have, guys. It's not on the Up in Smoke, or is it?
Yeah, it should be on, I'm not sure which chapter. It was probably on the first one.
Okay. Because what it said when I was it was released by itself in 2020.
So we had put out a couple songs previewing the album before we actually put out all the EPs. Is it on there? Maybe it wasn't.
It's not. I'm actually more knowledgeable about the history of Joint Custody than lead singer Tyler Dudley.
How about that?
That's
definitely right. There may have been another one that we released. Oh, Mississippi's not on there either. Yeah,
it is.
Oh, it is. See, I don't know.
Look, here's the discography that I see for Joint Custody. I see Circles by itself in 2020. I see Up in Smoke Chapter 1 released first in 2021.
Yeah.
That Girl Is Cold, which is one that's a good bar song, right? People
we still play that one.
Mississippi Moonshine, I knew that had to be influenced by Shawn, not you.
That's right.
Lone Wolf, I want to say Austin sings on this.
I sing that one.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I thought he sang on it. Now, I know Shawn sings Pillow Talk.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's not quite acoustic, but it's...
No, it's just him and an electric, and then we throw some harms on him behind him.
And the reason we're going through this, because in a minute, we're about to take joint custody on the road for the first time. And so I'm trying to give the audience a feel for the songs that we've got to take with us, right?
All right.
So Up in Smoke, Chapter 2, are these two released kind of as an anthology together, like, Use Your Illusion 1 and 2, like Guns N' Roses did in the 90s?
That was the ultimate plan. Like I said, we truly never even finished, I think, exactly what we were wanting to do there. We really wanted to add like 2 or 3 more songs and then put it all out together and call it something. But we all, I think, had a change of heart, and we're all like, that's not who we were. It didn't feel like I was telling you earlier, those were songs that I had kind of written and songs that Shawn had written years and years ago. And we're like, we need to if we're going to do this joint custody thing, we need to get some music out. And so that's what we did.
All right. I got it now. I can see the dates. Up in Smoke, Chapter 1, it looks like it's released April 30th, 2021.
Okay.
Chapter 2 with 4 other songs, October 29th, 2021. So y'all kind of spread it out.
Yeah, we did, for sure.
All right. And the Up in Smoke 2, Chapter 2, has Sober on it, which I think that's probably has to be a fan favorite.
So that's actually a song that a guy that we go on tour with, Chris Colson, I was telling you about, he actually wrote that song. We had no part in that song. He wrote the song, and we decided that we liked it, and he wasn't going to cut it. So we cut it and made it our own. But that's the only one on that entire album, besides Dreams, of course, that we didn't write.
Do you still play Sober when you guys play sets?
No, not really.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Now, the one that's not on either one of these that I'm surprised about is Wake Up Stoned.
Yeah, so that's what we did. We put out Wake Up Stoned we put out Mississippi Moonshine was the very first song we ever put out. And then I think it was Circles. And then we did Wake Up Stoned.
Because I know that's got to be a fan favorite.
Wake Up Stone's definitely our most played song for sure. Yeah.
Right. I mean, you go to the Spotify numbers and you look up Wake Up Stoned.
Compared to everything else.
Compared to everything, it's blowing it away.
Yeah, for sure.
I pulled up this one thing, 181,000.
Right.
The next closest is 40,000.
Yeah.
So...
yeah. It's definitely, and I'm not really even sure why. I guess it's just there wasn't a lot of promotion behind that song. It was more of just people liked it, I guess.
It's the power of a name.
Power of a name.
Just saying stoned.
Everybody's like, what's that?
I bet I'll like it.
Right. Yeah. No kidding.
Right. I mean, the title matters, right? I mean,
yeah.
Just like the band name matters, right? Like, there's been some bands with some killer names through the rock, country, through the years. You guys ever think of changing your name, or are you guys solid on your name?
No, I think it's never going to change.
Okay. Yeah. Some bands, when they decide on the name, they're kind of like, okay, they agree to do it, but maybe, later on.
Unless the world comes and attacks us because it's joint custody and we have, we need to change it to just custody or something.
Yeah, right. Or, right. The JC experience.
Yeah.
I mean, something like that. I mean, might be. Okay. So it's 2021, April, Chapter 1, October, Chapter 2, Up in Smoke. So we've got 8 songs with a cover, Dreams. We've got Circles. We've got Wake Up Stoned, and we got Mississippi Moonshine.
Yep.
That's what you guys have available to play that aren't really covers except for Dreams.
As of right now?
No, at that time.
At that time, yes.
I'm taking us along. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys are hitting the road best you can.
Right.
You got to play some set, right?
Yeah.
Is your set, when you start off, all of these, or are there more covers that we haven't talked about?
No, it was pretty much all those. We covered one more song that Austin would do called Ain't No Rest for the Wicked.
Yeah, I think I've heard that. I didn't really know that one.
But that was another cover that we would just do, and it was another one of those to try to get people's attention.
All right. Now, the slide up here, the JC slide, it says established 2019. Right, in Roman numerals.
Right.
We've got, this is the logo for Chapter 1. It's a reverse white logo for Chapter 2.
Correct.
Are you guys touring at all, or this is what you're just playing locally at the time?
Yeah, we were definitely probably at that time playing a lot more locally, taking anything that we could get. I mean, private parties, anything that we could get, we were playing it. But slowly making connections in the process as well.
All right. The next slide is meant for me to convey that you guys have a van and have the intention of hitting the road.
Right. We've updated a couple times since that one, but that was a good looking sucker. You just couldn't trust it taking you across the U.S.
All right. So the plan is, your goal is to actually get in that van on a Friday and go somewhere to play, hopefully Friday night, Saturday, and maybe even Sunday night.
Yeah, I mean, there'd be times we'd go Thursday through Saturday, Sunday sometimes,
And you guys, I'm assuming you all ride in the same van to save money?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's not like he takes his car, you take yours.
No, we're not there. We all travel together.
And your equipment, the drum kit, the guitars, the amps, things like that, do you have to bring all of your own stuff?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All the, when it comes to instruments and on the stage, we call it self-contained now, but your monitors and stuff so you can hear yourself, that's all stuff that we bring, yeah.
The venues that you go and play generally, do they have anything for you to hook up to or use when you get there?
Yeah, I mean, we hook into their speakers and stuff, for sure. You got to hook into their system, but recently we've done, like I was saying, self-contained, and we bring our own everything on stage as ours.
What do you remember for joint custody? Because I want you to tell the audience about the excitement that there must have been about the first gig out of town that you guys knew you were going to play and be paid for.
I can't remember the first one per se, but I do remember some of the far, when we would get really far ones, like going to Indianapolis and Chicago and stuff like that. That was like, okay, we're really doing this thing, But those are probably some of the best moments, going to Indianapolis and Ohio, Chicago. That in itself is what gives us that itch and wanting us to keep doing it.
When was Indianapolis? What year? Was it this year or last year?
No, it was definitely last year, maybe early last year.
All right. Was that on the same run when I saw you on Riverside Live in Ohio?
That one was after. It would have been before. That was in November. This one would have been, I'm talking like February, March of that 2022.
Okay. So the guys in that van
that van right there was never taken out of Texas.
Well, that van is symbolic of a van.
That's right.
This is like the,
you should have seen the inside of that
Scooby
thing.
Mobile, it's just meant to.
You should have seen the inside of that thing, man.
Yeah. Or smelled the inside of it.
Yeah, that too. We called it Purple Rain. The whole thing was purple.
All right. But my point is the band is playing locally, trying to survive. You guys are working other jobs, but then you start to get some opportunities, and one of which is as far away as Indianapolis in February of 2022.
Yeah.
And this gives you, I don't know, hope, fuels the fire, something along those lines?
Yeah, I mean, we weren't getting paid a lot to do it, but it was more of just the experience, and knowing that we knew who we were playing with, we were going to have good crowds and get in front of some people, and that's what it's all about. That's where we're at.
Now, who would usually... would they take you with them? Would their management call you and go, hey, we want you to open for so-and-so? How would you get these gigs?
Most of them in particularly like that, the out-of-state ones, I'll reach out to the connections that we've made, and I'll reach out to their crews and stuff and just say, hey,
do you need anybody?
If you got anybody on this particular show, or if you got any shows, just throw them my way, and then they'll get back with us or our manager and get it all handled.
Is that why sometimes you just pop in for like one
100%.
show, somebody fell out and didn't do it, and
100%,
and you go, hey, we'll do it?
Yeah, I mean, we just got that run that we just did up in North Carolina. I think we knew like 2-3 weeks before that we were going to have to go to that.
And who were you supporting?
That was Pecos and the Rooftops.
Okay. And so I guess once you play with some guys, or whoever the band may be, they know who you are.
Yeah.
They know you're reliable.
And that's part of why we've made these connections, because, we show up and we play and we do our thing. And, with those guys, Pecos, and we played with a lot of times, we get along very well with those guys. And so.
Because you really probably don't have a lot of time to see them. You're setting up, you're playing, you're
Yeah.
finished, they're playing.
Yeah, so how it works is normally like when we show up, they'll sound check first, then we'll sound check, and then depending on how good our sound check goes, we got about a 2 to 3 hour window to hang out with those guys pretty much before we go on stage, and then they go directly on after us. So yeah, there's not a lot of time, but there's a couple hours to kill where we'll do whatever in the world. Who knows?
I mean, so Indianapolis, is that the farthest?
No, the farthest, I'll say the ones we just did, we ran into some troubles, and it was the longest we were probably in a vehicle on the way home. But the farthest mileage we went was probably Grand Junction, Colorado.
Okay. Hopefully that was not in the winter.
No.
It wasn't.
I don't think
snowing.
No, it wasn't snowing. No, I'm not sure when that was, but no, it wasn't snowing.
Because, I mean, your touring schedule for what you guys are even hopeful of doing is pretty much the weekend, Thursday to Sunday, in that window all the time, right? That's when you'd be gone.
Yeah.
The rest of the time you're at home, working, doing whatever else, trying to get other gigs, I presume?
Yeah. Essentially, when I'm home, it's work and then trying to find us more shows or trying to figure out stuff to post for social media, let people know where we're going to be.
So 2022, you're on the road, at least the gigs that you get. Are you playing Up in Smoke, Chapter 1 and 2? Is that what you're playing to the crowds?
Right now?
No. In 2022?
In 2022?
Yeah, when you're on the road.
We started playing mostly the stuff that was on those records. We did start playing a lot of the stuff that we're about to put out. We started feeding them some of those, giving them some new stuff.
I want to play you a new song off the new album.
Correct.
That kind of thing.
And so that's kind of where we were at there.
All right, let's go to the next slide. I think it's I wanted to talk about it because this is what people think about when they think about musicians.
Right.
They think about, this is the perspective. This is what you see when you're playing. Right. I mean,
it's not every night.
Yeah.
But this was a good show. Yeah.
I was about to say, this is not a missed night at the Silver Saloon in Terrell, Texas.
I'll take a picture at one we got coming up, and then it'll just be like two guys out there, and then I'll show you that it ain't always like that. But yeah, that was a good show.
Well, you're at a disadvantage because you open.
That's right. A lot of these people have never even heard of us, don't know who we are. They're not there for us. You got a couple that are, but
people are, going out to dinner, doing something else, and getting to the show later.
Right. Exactly right.
So I guess my 2 cents, even though I don't know anything about the music business, but if I was you, I'd be playing the best songs I had the last 3.
You nailed it. Yep.
Because the people coming in are starting to fill up to see the next one that they're there to see,
right? And they'll start getting closer to the stage if they're kind of scooting back.
Right.
They
trying to
say it's our last song, they'll start scooting up.
Yeah. You need to save the Wake Up Stone for the.
I know.
Is that the encore?
No, it's not. It's towards the end, but I mean, maybe one day. But it's too slow to be our last song. We want to hit them in the face.
All right. So obviously, all these shows take place in a very high energy environment. If there's a decent crowd,
right?
I mean, people are drinking.
Yeah.
Music is upbeat. At least y'all sound.
Mm-hmm.
People are amped up. They're having a good time. They're glad not to be at work.
Right.
And, they're with their girlfriend or their friend or whoever they're with, and they're all out there having a great old time, right? And getting ready for the next band.
Right.
So tell us what it's like, to get off stage and go into the crowd or around the crowd with the fans and people, kind of seeing who you are, although they were there to watch the headliner.
Yeah. It's cool. I mean, I think that's where a lot of the, we'll get done with the show. We'll go sit at the merch booth, and then these people will come up and talk to us, come buy some merch. And I think that that's another one of those things, at least for me, that keeps me going too, because it's kind of that reassurance, like, hey, you guys are good and we really like your music, and it's different when we play these songs every single night. It's like, sometimes you get in your head and be like, man, was that even good? And then, they'll come up and reassure you. And
it's feedback.
It's the feedback. Yeah. And it's normally always pretty good. So, and
that's good
for that.
Because you hear the songs that you play every night, but the people you go to
never heard them before.
Or they've come back to hear them again.
Right.
And that's got to be positive because, I've thought about that before. I used to, I used to always think that I wanted to be in a rock band.
Right.
When I was growing up in high school, college, how cool it seemed, right?
Right.
Then I started thinking about it. We're playing the same songs in 54 locations across the country,
Right.
all the time.
It feels like it would get old, huh?
This has got to get a little boring after a while, right? I mean,
when you say it that way, yeah, you would think so. And I've always thought that same thing too. But man, there's just something about it. And you continue to grow. You change things up. You change your setup a little bit and throw a new song in there every once in a while, so it doesn't get.
You
that
have
way.
to,
You
right?
got to.
I mean,
you got to.
And then, I catch myself thinking, well, man, that looks glamorous. Wow, that'd be fun. And then, you start to think about the reality of being on the road and how that's not as glamorous as it might look.
It's just not always that way. You're right. I mean, get the to and the from shows, there's a lot that goes into it and a lot of things that can happen that make it a little stressful.
Well, and the stress we talked about earlier it can hurt the band if the band's really not together.
Yeah, if you don't jive and you're driving down the interstate and blow a tire out and you're trying to get home, people's frustrations can come out for sure, but that's where everyone's got to really like each other.
Well, I picked up on that and I had never talked to you about this before. Mm-hmm. I just watched you and I listened to you on that. I watched that entire Riverside live show at night by myself, just trying to get a feel because, there's a lot of little things you can pick up if you're listening and watching a band play and talk in between songs.
Yeah, for sure.
And it seemed like you were almost happy that Ohio and Riverside was so much better than Chicago, although you didn't really say much about Chicago. So why don't you tell us about the glamorous life of being on the road, Chicago, Illinois, and that gig?
Yeah, that, like I was telling you, that particular run was a lot. We had just bought this van, and it was our first time ever taking it thousands of miles or whatever it was. And
that's a long way.
It was a long way. And so we left the day before. We definitely planned, but we broke down and took hours and hours. We barely made the sound check. I mean, we were way late, and the crowd was good in Chicago. It was just we ran into some sound issues, and we were just drained because we were there. We were having to scramble to load in and scramble to get off so that we could start. I mean, there was no time in between. We were sound checking, changing, and then we started to play. Like, it was just a lot.
And then after that show, you guys packed up and headed to the Ohio one?
Yeah, I think we stayed in Chicago that night, and then we drove to Ohio the next morning. And that crowd that was one of the better shows that week, and that crowd was just the whole day was just better. The van was fixed. We arrived when we needed to, and everything went well. The crowd was on fire, and it was good. But there was a third night to that tour that we went to. I think it was Chattanooga, Tennessee, and we broke down again. We had another tire or something go bad, and it was, like I said, it was a new van, so we didn't even have the proper equipment to even change a tire. Didn't even have it on there. We're a bunch of rookies, apparently, traveling across the U.S.
I mean,
look,
but
we figured it out, and we got to the show, and we did our thing, and it is what it is. But it was.
I mean, you're like my boys. Sometimes I'm not sure they would know where the jack is, or if it was in the
we
car.
know how to change the tire. It was just we didn't have the proper equipment. We didn't know that it was all aftermarket stuff. So you pull it out, and it's like none of this stuff fits aftermarket. So
well, I've often heard that luck was defined as where preparation meets opportunity.
I like that.
And so your preparation, if it's poor,
trust me, we've learned since stuff like that happens, you're a lot more aware of.
Oh yeah.
Before you leave, let's get a blinker check. Let's check the tire pressure.
Hey, let's get a new set of tires.
Let's get a new set of tires
before we go to Chicago, Illinois.
See, that was the thing. It was a brand new van, brand new tires.
Oh, well, that's too bad.
It just happens, man.
But the Riverside crowd, I mean, compared to a few folks at the Silver Saloon on an off night, it's gotta be just night and day difference.
Yeah, we call those the shows they'll humble you. You go play the Eye on Fire show, and then you'll come back, and then you'll play to 10, 15 people, and those are the ones like, all right, well, just another show,
But I don't know what the band economics is. I'm sure, the gigs probably don't pay that much more in Chicago, but it may cost a lot more to get there.
Yeah, it does. It's a risk that we're willing to take. We're just trying to get out in front of people and honestly hope that we just sell a lot of merch to get the gas money.
Well, I mean, is that kind of the economic formulas? Like, hey, if we've got some merchandise and you call it merch, right?
Right.
That's like T-shirts, hats, whatever.
Right.
If we can sell this stuff, make enough money off that to pay the gas. Now, is there hotel expense for the band?
It depends on who we're playing with. Sometimes some guys will have some hotel rooms that they'll just give us, but if not, we'll just have to buy them out of our pocket.
And when y'all buy them, do you guys bunk up, 2 to a room to, or
it depends as well on where we're at. Some hotels are just out of our price range, and so sometimes we'll just all get in the same room and two queen beds, and then the fifth guy sleeps on a couch, or we'll make it work.
But I mean, who is the fifth guy?
We've been running with 5, sometimes 6, but the fifth guy is just our photo and the guy that sells merch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Not a band member.
No, not a band member. No.
All right. So yeah,
he might as well be. He's part of it.
There are these expenses that are gas, the upkeep of the vehicle.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure that your equipment, that is your musical instruments, might break from time to time or need repair.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's all these expenses that. Can the merchandise for a weekend show of 3 shows cover that kind of stuff?
Right. I mean, it depends on who we're playing with. Like if we think that there's going to be a good crowd, then yeah. But if we're going to Chicago, yeah, more than likely the merchandise will cover what we need.
Well, that's good, because then whatever
we're still getting paid to be there. It's just that's pretty much the gas to get there.
Right. And the band, whatever the band money is for the night, y'all can either save that or distribute it or do whatever you do.
Yeah.
And then I think you've told me before that what y'all do is y'all try to let your jobs pay for your own lifestyles.
Yeah, it's just kind of with where we're at. We just think that it's best because there are so many expenses that anything that we make, we just put it right back to the band.
And when you put it back to the band, what is the band other than, the gas, the band, the upkeep, the travel? What else expense does joint custody have as a group? Do y'all practice somewhere and have to rent some space?
No, other than that, other than what you mentioned, really just buying merch itself, buying the merch. But I mean, all those things that you said, it adds up.
Now, the record, the EPs that we talked about, or actually the LP, I guess you'd call them, Up in Smoke 1 and 2. Did y'all make those records here in Tyler?
No, we made that at a buddy of ours. Is in Commerce. It was in between. That was when we recorded that through COVID. So sometimes we went to a house over there, and then sometimes we went to a studio in Commerce. But it was all the same guy handling it.
Now, I've seen this place that some musicians use called Robot Cave. Have you seen that?
Yeah,
the Robot Cave.
That's I think that was an old studio.
What is that?
Which was where that video that you showed earlier. I think that's what they called that studio.
Okay. Now, as far as the new album,
right?
Where did you guys record the new album that's going to be available September 29th?
We recorded it. Shawn, our electric guitar player, has a cabin on his property, and so we just got there. We got some guys a producer and an engineer that knew what they were doing, and they rented out a bunch of equipment, and we just ran with it. We just set it all up in there and sent it.
How long did it take you guys to record this new album at this place that you've just described?
I think we did about 3 different sessions, and it was like we would take an entire week, say 3 weeks. But I mean, a lot of that was we were showing up after work. We'd get done with work. I'd be coming to the studio at 2:00 and doing my parts. And so altogether, I mean, if we all were down, it probably took us an entire week altogether.
Now, I'm assuming somebody's there or one of you is recording while one of you's doing your parts.
We were pretty much there. All of us were there for everything. But yeah, that's basically how it works. The producer's up there and he's saying, clicking and you're starting, go, do your thing. And then cutting and all kinds of stuff.
I mean, I guess I always thought that was interesting about the music business, how an album could be made like, I hate to go back to some of my favorites like Motley Crue, where Vince would come in and sing his parts. He may never seen the band when the album was made.
Right.
Because he didn't play an instrument.
Right.
But do y'all don't make these songs playing all the instruments at the same time, or you do?
It comes together that way somehow. Eventually, if one of us writes a song, we'll be like, all right, here's the song we wrote. And then that's when we get in front of everybody and then we tell them the chords and then you all start playing it and learning it together. But
when you record the music,
I'm sorry, you're talking about the recording side of it.
I'm talking about making this new album.
It's a step-by-step process. It's more of the drums would go first or the bass. I think we did it just different ways depending on the song, but normally it's a track by track thing. There's only one person recording their part at a time.
Does it normally start with the drums?
I think that's a preference. I think that we liked it that way. We've always kind of just done it that way. I'm not really sure why. That's probably not the best way to do it. I don't know, but it feels right for us, so we've always done it.
Well, the reason I was curious that you said that is I have, again, Motley Crue, my musical background. Tommy Lee always says, the drummer's the timekeeper.
Yeah, which is exactly why I think that we do that, because we know Corey's really good at knowing the structure. We're all really good at knowing the structure. So
the drummer keeps time.
He keeps the tempo going, and so if he's going, it's easier for us to stay on that click and the tempo, like you're saying, if he's already in it.
That's why I wondered if y'all, when you said the drums, if you did the tempo man first, so that when you did your part, are you listening to any other part, or what are you listening to?
No. Well, so we did it depends. Sometimes we did what was called like a demo. We record the whole song and it's just scratch stuff. We didn't take it that serious. We're just trying to get the whole song together so we can listen to it to see where we're going to go. And sometimes you would hear those parts into what we were doing, if that makes sense.
But how do you play with a tempo that matches the other parts when you're not playing together when you record it?
It's all in your ears. You're hearing it. You're hearing whatever he did. Corey will start with just a simple click. That's all he hears, is that right there. And then he just sits there and knows the song in his head and sits there and plays the whole song. And then whoever feels next, maybe it'll be bass, and then just keep stacking and stacking and stacking.
Well, that's what I was asking, just being curious. Did the bass man, if he's next, is he's listening to the drums that have been laid down so that he can play along with that tempo?
Well,
or I'm just thinking, how does a guy know when to be strumming the bass when there's no music playing?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean by we all know the songs structurally well. We know where he's at. Basically, when we know when the drums are coming in, we know we already have the song in our head. We already hear the whole song in our head when Corey's playing the drums.
So
that makes sense.
Different artists, bands, they have different ways of making the sausage, if you will, right?
Right.
Not everybody makes a song.
There's no right way to do it.
But all in, you think this album took about 3 weeks?
3 weeks of planned time to do it, but yeah.
So, what kind of cost are there for a modern day person who wants to be a musician to make an album?
Man, it's to be honest, the recording stuff is good. You pay for what you get. If you want really good quality, you're going to have to really pay for it.
You mean what we hear as a consumer?
Correct.
In the music?
Yeah, you're going to have to really pay for that.
Because the audio is better than some?
Correct. Yeah, you'll notice a difference between, if you really pay attention, you'll be able to tell when we put this new stuff out, the quality difference between that and the stuff we have out right now.
Right. I thought Sober sounded the best.
See, now there's songs that some sound a lot better, and that just is a mixing thing. Some songs just got mixed better, or, there's a lot that goes into it. There really is.
Now, you mentioned all these other tasks producer, mixer.
Mm-hmm.
Who's doing all this for joint custody? Is it one of you guys?
Who's doing which part exactly?
Mixing, producing?
Yeah, so
anything that's not with the instruments.
The producer was doing mainly just guiding us. He's producing. He's saying, we should do this instead of this. The engineer is the guy that's behind the computer that's cutting and hitting the keys that he needs to start us in the right places and stuff like that.
Okay. And then ultimately, who puts the songs together in final form?
They do. They get what they mix them, and then they send them to us, and that was the longest part of the process, was getting it to sound the way we wanted it. Oh, we cut it all, but the hardest part was them sending it back to us and be like, we need to change that. That sounds a little weird and stuff like that. That took longer. And then once you get all the final mixes, you send it off to get mastered, and that's a whole nother process. But that's normally pretty quick.
Well, it's funny. I've always heard artists, argue, get in fights, record company, all about having their masters. And that's what you're talking about.
Right. That's what that
copy
is. The master is what you're hearing on Spotify and iTunes. That's what you hear.
And you guys, I'm assuming you're keeping your masters.
Yeah, we're independent is what they call it. Yeah.
Right. So you don't have anybody really trying to get your masters.
No.
But I mean, if you had a hit one of these days, lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
And anything it did, you guys would,
No, we would never do anything like that.
No, I mean, you guys would get the benefits in the future.
Right. Exactly.
Now, you guys have been described in the past, I brought it out, and mine was independent. I listened to everything, read everything I could find, and saw that, I saw this continual theme of kind of an honest songwriters, the guys, and soulful storytellers. Those two things were what I saw people saying about the songs that y'all had put out on basically, your first 12 songs.
Right.
Yeah. Is that going to change on this new album that's coming out September 29th?
The honest songwriting part, no. I think that is our goal, and what we do is a lot of honest songwriting. That is who we are. What was the other thing you had said?
Well, it was really just the adjectives used for you were like honest songwriters and soulful.
Soul. Yeah.
You guys were talking about real things.
Right.
It wasn't like we're going to get drunk on Saturday night at the honky
That's
tonk.
not.
It was more about relationships.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're trying to be all
good
about.
And bad, and the things that human emotion wise seem to stem from those things.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems to me what y'all been talking about.
Yeah, I would think that that's correct. Yeah.
Now you're going harder on the riffs and the rock.
Yeah.
Are the lyrics? Where are they going?
I think it's more of where we're at now. We got a song out, the Highway Living. It's just about the being on the road and
Guns N' Roses, Paradise City.
Yes, it's just that.
AC/DC's I'm on a highway to hell to Chicago, Illinois.
There you go. Yeah, don't go down there.
I'm just saying you broke down. You had all those trouble, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's right.
But you guys are older.
Right.
Than when, you and Shawn or whoever wrote those songs before you came together.
Correct.
Shawn has a child.
He does, yes.
How many of the guys in the band right now are married?
As of to this day, 2 of them.
And who are those?
That would be Corey and Shawn.
And what about you and your brother holding out?
No, so I'm getting married in November, and then he's actually getting married next year as well.
Okay, so we're going to have a fully married up band.
We'll all be booed up for sure.
On the road, I mean, I don't know how it is for you guys, but in the past, my guys, Motley Crue, they were horrible on the road.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, groupies, alcohol, but you guys seem to be a little bit more on the move.
Right.
Right.
We're definitely there to do a job. We're there to have fun. Don't get me wrong. We want to make these relationships and we want to hang out with people, but we're not trying to, jack up hotel rooms and stuff like that. We're trying to do the gig, go to sleep, go to the next show.
And, when you go to these places, establishments that you play, do they comp you any drinks, food? Do they give you anything for being there? Because they know you've come a long way. You're not getting paid much as the supporting cast,
Yeah. That truly just depends on the venue.
Really? It's just kind of
we have what they call a rider, what we send them, and they, normally we'll get some drinks.
Van Halen required no brown M&Ms in the rider.
No brown M&Ms, but they wanted M&Ms.
They did, and you know why they did that?
Mm-mm.
David Lee Roth said, if I find brown M&Ms along with the, Jack Daniels, everything else, right? I know they didn't read the writer. And if they didn't read the writer, I know the sound check and all that shit is going to be messed up big time. And he was pretty much right about it in the venues where he saw the brown M&Ms, because then he said they would send their people to go over the sound system to make sure things were right. And so you mentioned your writer. What does your writer say in it?
It's very simple.
I mean, you got a lot of demands.
We're some easy guys, man. We want some Twisted Teas, probably.
You want a bottle of Jim Beam.
Yeah. And then maybe some snacks, man, some chips or something. That's really it.
Come on, man. I mean, at least get a beer or something in there for y'all. I mean, something in the back room.
Yeah.
Is there a backstage area?
Yeah. Well, and that also depends on the venue. They call them green rooms, but yeah, I mean, some of them have them, some of them don't.
And I'm assuming that the headliner, if it's it's always a band, even if it's an individual, right? Like Colby Cooper, he's been taking y'all out with him quite a bit.
Yeah, we've been out with him for a couple of years now, for sure.
And Colby is somebody who seems to have increased his following over the last couple of years.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's done really well. Absolutely.
All right. So we've got you guys eventually start making some music that we talked about in this cabin, and y'all get a album together, right?
Yes.
And we were talking about the masters. Eventually they send you back the masters, right?
Right.
And they send it. How do you put it out? Because I know you haven't put it out yet, but.
So technically I have. I mean, it's not out, for people to hear it, but you go to a distribution company and you just take the songs that are sent to you, and then you just upload them basically, and upload the artwork and all that.
Well, let's go. It looks like August 18th. I know this is the best graphic I've got. It's not that great.
That is the most recent song that we put out on this album. That one, Lonely's in My Bones.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tongue twister.
Lonely's.
I know.
Yeah.
I tried to figure out whether it was kind of a joke about sometimes people add an S on things when they're saying stuff.
Right.
Like, whatever word they
Yeah.
But who wrote this song?
Shawn did.
Okay.
Shawn would probably be the one to ask on the. I mean, what's funny is I actually uploaded the song as Lonely in My Bones, and then he was like, it's Lonely's. And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess you're right. So then I went back and had to change it.
Yeah, I mean, because, it depends on how you use it.
Correct.
If you said something like, I've got the Lonely's in my bones, that makes a little more sense.
Right.
Than trying to read it like, I'm Lonely's in my bones.
Yeah, it'll make sense if you hear the song, it makes sense. But
yeah, and it's been out. I think
it's been out for about a month now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what kind of feedback is there for you as a band when you release one new song, compared to the stuff that you've released in the past?
It's definitely grows. I definitely think more people get involved and more people are sharing the stuff and telling people to listen to us. That's just kind of where we're at right now.
How can you quantify that either with views, buys, shares, or anything in today's social media that tells you, maybe whether one song is better than some of the others?
Oh yeah, you can definitely tell that. Yep. You can go, they break that down by each distributor or each, whether you're listening to iTunes or Spotify, individually, you can tell how many streams are coming from each one. Like when you look at those Spotify streams, that's only on Spotify.
Right.
So then I have an app basically that's an artist app of those things. You can go and look and break down exactly, how many streams. You can even look how many people are listening right now.
Do you ever use those to put together the set as you kind of see what the favorites are?
We definitely are trying. I've been talking to the guys about that. It's funny you say that about how, because there's songs that are our bigger ones, like Pillow Talk, that we don't play anymore. We haven't played it for a while, but it is one of our most requested songs. And us as a band, it's just so soft, and now we're going to this riffy rock thing.
Right.
We're kind of like, I don't know if that's us anymore, but everybody wants to hear it. It's always a request. So one of those things to where I've been looking into that kind of stuff and like, all right, what's our most streamed songs? Because that's what they want to hear.
I mean, I'd have to say Pillow Talk might be, I don't know if the females are requesting it or not.
I would probably say it's mostly females now that you say that. But I mean, people request it all the time, and we for a long time we've just been like, we have our set together, we play our songs, and then we move on. But
because I mean, it is a straight, buzzkill in the middle of a high octane set.
To play a song,
play Pillow Talk,
and that's why we haven't. Because
I mean, Corey comes walking around like he's in a church choir and stands there, and he's chiming in, and nobody's playing any instruments except for Shawn.
Right. And I felt like that we kind of felt the same way about the song, which is why we've kind of like, it's just not. We're trying to be this high energy leveled band, and that's just not it. But I'm glad people like the song. I mean,
the most recent trip that we can talk about, and it's pretty interesting, was this past weekend.
Correct.
September 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
That's right.
We kind of mentioned it, but you drove straight to Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah.
And you played for who? Who'd you open for?
Those were with Pecos and the Rooftops as well.
All right. And so, and then was the whole trip with Pecos and the Rooftops?
Yeah, it was.
All the way to Greenville, South Carolina, then North Carolina at High Point, and then back home, right?
Right.
All right. Let's talk about the Birmingham crowd. How was the crowd? How did they receive this type of music?
Birmingham was good. It was the first one of the show, and that was a Thursday night.
Which is not as good a night.
Yeah, it's well, actually,
crowd-wise?
Yeah, that was a Thursday. Yeah, I mean, but it was still good. It really was.
Thursday?
That was a Thursday. That was the 30th. That was the August 31st. We had the Friday off.
Okay, because I knew that y'all did play that Sunday night.
Yeah, because we had the Friday off, then we played Saturday and Sunday.
Right. And, I just wonder, is this a local sound? Is this a sound, this music that you guys are creating? Can it transcend, people around here,
right,
and really work in other places, far away?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good question. I would like to think so. I mean, that's kind of goes back to what we were talking about with the, when you get done with the show, the feedback that we're getting after the shows, everyone's like, hey, I really liked this particular song. And, stuff like that gives us that reassurance to, I guess that maybe we can do this in other places than here.
Well, it sounded like the Riverside live crowd was that was a
good crowd.
All right. And so I'm thinking, if that's a good crowd, that's a good feedback crowd for you and the band. Like the songs that they talked about that they liked were what songs?
I can't remember that particular night, but
I just didn't know if somebody come up and goes, "Oh, I just loved this, this, and this."
Right. I think most of the time people just compliment us overall. It's not mainly a song. It's more of, you guys were surprising because we all three sang, and it's just a little different.
And
sometimes.
Y'all are pretty tight as far as players.
Right. We've been playing a long time for sure. Yeah, I would like to think that we're tight.
I mean, if anybody watches you guys, and the thing that I don't think y'all get credit for on the internet is the different qualities of videos made of you that don't really catch the sound.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
You hear something at the Silver Dollar Saloon in Terrell, and Wake Up Stone doesn't sound the same as it does on Spotify when you preview it.
Yeah, and that has a lot to do with whoever's running that front of house mix.
Right.
I have a lot of faith in those guys.
Yeah, and this was a video, so this wasn't even the sound engineer in-house.
Right.
But I was just curious, do you have, not counting the new album, do you have a favorite song thus far, that Joint Custody has put out?
Not including the new album?
Yeah, let's pretend like you've never made the new album yet. Before you wrote this new album and produced it,
I would say, I guess my favorite one on the old stuff would probably be That Girl Is Cold.
Another relationship song.
Yeah.
That Girl Is Cold.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess that, man, I'm not gonna lie. I just feel like that stuff I've put in the back of my mind.
Okay.
For a while. I've moved on to this new stuff, and I feel like that's what I'm proud of, is this new stuff.
Well, and that's a sentiment that a lot of people have.
I think that's just being an artist.
Right. I mean, like, people always want to talk about what you did last.
Right.
And you're wanting to talk about what you just did.
What I got coming. That's right.
Except for, in fairness to me, in the interview,
right,
we haven't heard what's coming.
No, 100%.
Except we've got a little Highway Living, a little Hellbound, and The Lonely's in My Bones is kind of what we know.
Right.
All right. But you sound confident and excited in saying what you're saying about the new music. Am I hearing you right?
Yeah, I truly am. I think that all of us are very confident in this new stuff. I mean, it's been something that we've been looking forward to getting out for some time. But if you don't feel that way, you're probably in the wrong business.
Right.
I mean, we're already ready for the next stuff after this. We've already dropped this, but we're ready to. We're already writing songs for the new one. We're excited for it.
It seems like it could be easy to get discouraged in this business.
Oh yeah.
Right. Man, this isn't worth it.
Yeah.
I can do something a lot easier and
make some more money.
Right. Make some more money.
Right.
And I'm sure as family responsibilities increase for the band, that's an additional stress other than just being on the road and those stresses.
Right.
You guys have to think about that, right?
I think the hardest thing, especially as we'll get older, will be the time being away from the family and stuff. I think that's going to be the hardest thing to learn how to do.
Well, and hopefully success will increase. Your goal has to eventually be the headliner.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Right, where you're the one that gets booked,
right,
and then you guys choose who supports you.
Correct.
I mean, like headliners, what kind of money do those guys get paid at these places that you go to support?
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the venue, man. I mean, a lot of it does, depending on how many people they're putting in there. Some of them are getting flat rates, but I mean, the guys we're playing with probably $5,000 to $25,000. Who knows?
I mean,
somewhere around there.
Would you say in 2023 thus far that you guys have been busier playing than you had in 2022?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, not being with a per se booking agency it's a lot of up and downs. We'll have some really good months, and then we'll have a month, where we got a lot of stuff going on. We'll be off, or, who knows.
Well, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about real quick was I noticed that you had management, and you often wonder, like, well, what does a manager do for a band like Joint Custody?
Yeah. Man, like I was telling you earlier, he kind of he's the professional voice behind all of this, really.
Who's he talking to?
He's talking to the people for advancing shows, the people, he's reaching out. He's also trying to help us book, reaching out to get us some stuff. And, but mostly just the connections that he's made over time. That's who he's talking to try to get us out there as well.
Now, the slide we've had up here, this is the album cover for the new album, is it not? And I'm assuming that the manager does not work for free. I mean, you sound happy with him, but they take a percentage, do they not?
Yeah, he takes a percentage, but it's definitely all worth it, in the end. I mean, he gets us more money than I probably would have gotten or something like that. He pays for himself essentially.
Right. I mean, if he takes 10 or 15%, he got you more than that in the booking than you would have.
Exactly.
All right. And he's out there hustling for Joint Custody.
Trying to get us more shows, and he does everything he can, right?
And you used to work with another company. I don't think y'all are, I forget what the kind of.
Yeah, we're not with them anymore, but yeah.
Because it seemed like to me a band like you could probably get on with your own relationship with other bands and book, or get your own stuff without the need from somebody to book you as a booking agent.
Right.
Now, the last slide I've got up here is it's the only future slide we have, but again, here is Joint Custody on the road again this weekend, right?
That's right.
With Colby taking you out on September, and then is this Hustler Brothers?
Hoosier Brothers. Yep.
Hoosier Brothers. Is this one of those deals where whoever normally supported them fell through and y'all filled in?
No, these were shows that we had just reached out, and we know those guys, and they had given them to us, but Yeah, we're thankful to be out there with both of them. It should be a fun weekend.
Well, is there anything other than the album that any of the people that are interested in joint custody should know about?
Man, the album is really everything that we've been working for. I mean, that's pretty much all other than the shows. That's what we've been concentrating all this time on. So, yeah, September 29th, self-titled album. That's pretty much everything we're trying to push right now.
Have y'all written any new songs?
Oh, yeah.
Since?
Always writing. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. That's what I was telling you. We're excited for the new one because we've already got, 3-4 songs that are going to be its own thing. And, we're excited.
Well, look, Tyler, I've enjoyed learning about the band. I've enjoyed talking to you and hearing more about the music business. And, of course, I'll be following you guys way more now than I probably would have. And I'm certainly rooting for you guys. And so, man, good luck with this.
Man, I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, man. I really appreciate it.